Hey there, so in this video I'm going to do a full walkthrough of what all the new custom fields are and how they correspond to a contact and close bot. So let's go ahead and jump into the screen and figure this out. So in your custom folders or your custom field folders, you're going to notice some new folders here. You got close bot and you got additional info. Now if you're not seeing these, just make sure when you click on custom fields, instead of all fields, you're just going to click this folders tab. And when you click folders, now you're going to see the folders so they're broken down. Now, if we click on close bot, you're going to notice a few things in here. You got your bot override message, your bot goals accomplished, and bot reset. So let me click on the contact so you can see where these are. Now, if you pull up a contact, any of your contacts should now have these folders in them. So if you look at close bot, which is the one we're looking at here, got close bot, all these things are in there. So if you click on close bot in the drop down, you've got your bot override message, your bot goals accomplished, and then bot reset. So your bot override message, this is a field that can trigger a message through close bot, so that way it gives it context. So what it does is when you send it through here, yes, it'll send through your conversations to whatever platform they were most recently using, but it will also send that information to close bot via a webhook, so that way it has context for the conversation that's happening. Now the reason I like to use bot override messages is because, again, you'll give more context to close bot so the conversation can be even more accurate, but also you can add bot override messages in workflows. So when you do, instead of an SMS, when somebody opts in, you got your automated SMS or your emails, we've replaced our SMS with a bot override message, so that way it's pinging close bot with the information, it's still sending that message through whatever channel we last communicated to them, and then also when they respond, now we just have a better picture of that conversation. So your bot override message can again be used via workflows. You can also manually type things. So if I manually type this message in here and I click save, it's automatically going to send it to the contact via the last communication type. Now, I'm not going to send this because this account is just a demo account. It's not A2P approved, and I don't want to get any errors here. Now, if we go to the next one, bot goals accomplished. When you start setting objectives in CloseBot, you're going to be relaying that information or connecting them to different goals in here. And you're going to start to see this update with different goals. So if we want to collect name, email, phone number, those are standard fields. That's just going to happen within the contact as it typically would. However, if we want to know, if you're in real estate, you want to know the size of house they're looking for, how many bedrooms, if they're working with somebody already, things like that, you're going to notice that these bot goals accomplished are going to, stack up here, and it's going to correlate with whatever your bot objectives are. Now your bot reset, very, very simple. All you got to do is if you want to clear everything from CloseBot, meaning you're just going to clear all the information, you're going to send a webhook to CloseBot to clear out that conversation for the contact. That way it's starting fresh, like it never had a conversation with somebody, and it's going after the goals again. You check this box, and when you click save, it's going to uncheck all the goals accomplished. It's going to uncheck any of the information, and then it's going to clear that conversation history again on the CloseBot side. Now, you will still see that in the conversation view here and go high level, but for instance, the reason we use the reset is when we're testing, especially with a live client. We get everything set up, we let them play with it, and then if they want to go through it again, we have them just click reset. That way they can reset themselves and go back through the flow if we've made some tweaks, or if they want to show their friends, colleagues, family, etc., because it happens a lot. Now, let's click back over here. We're going to go back to folders here, and then you got this additional info tab. So in additional info, that's going to show up down here. So let me click down here. So again, you've got these little drop-down boxes. That's where these new folders are. But if we click on additional info, you've got a couple things in here. So you've got the last communication type, which is a radio select box, and I'll show you what that means here in a second if you're not familiar. You've got bot latest auto response. You've got received message holder, and then you've got your message history. So all this means right here is this last communication type is if you were last communicating with this contact via Facebook, meaning they hit you up on Facebook Business Messenger, that box is going to be selected. If your last communication type was SMS, that is going to be selected. If your last communication type was email, that is going to be selected. So again, you got your chat, your Instagram DMs, you got your Google My Business, you got your WhatsApp, and essentially it's going to automatically select one of these based on whatever communication channel the lead or the contact is operating through or communicating through. Bot latest auto response, typically this is just a placeholder for when the bot generates a auto response. You would maybe see that in there, but typically it clears out once the conversation keeps going. Received message holder. Now again, this is taking that information so that we can send it to CloseBot. And then message history. This one's really cool because in message history, you're going to see everything. As long as it's either a bot override message, a message generated through CloseBot, or something your contact has sent to you, it's going to populate in here. Now, what this is really cool for is you can give a message history after all goals are completed. So what we do with our docs when we work with them is they're typically doing weight loss or body contouring. They want to know, what somebody's trouble areas are, what they've tried before, what's worked, what didn't work, and how soon they're looking to get started. And as long as we qualify them and they achieve all the objectives that we want to achieve, then we have succeeded, and then it will mark off that all our objectives are complete. Now, what we do with that information is we trigger a workflow. So not only are we getting them to book an appointment, but we'll send a summary of this conversation in a nice little email. That way the doc or whoever wants to take a peek at it can look at it. So you can't just export conversations through Go High Level. So with this message history, it's taking all the messages back and forth, putting them in this message history. That way, if you want to use it through automations or workflows, you can absolutely do that. So super, super simple as far as the custom fields. You're going to start to notice these things kind of pre-populate. And then same thing as a good rule of thumb, whenever you reset and you click save, it's going to clear out all that information. Again, from here, also from additional info, etc. Oh, and a last thing, a radio select box is something like this. So you got your different options, and whenever you click on one of these options, you're basically radio selecting whichever one that is. So if you weren't familiar with what that radio thing is, that's what that means. It's just a fancy way of saying little check boxes to check on a certain thing in there. So that's it for this video, and I will see you guys later.